Welcome back here at Hedgie English. Happy to see you. And now, I know part 1, you didn't see me. I'm sorry about that. But part 2, you will see me. And let's continue to read The Golden Bird by the Brothers Grimm. Part 2. So, just to remember, King wants an entire golden bird, tells the gardener tells his sons. The oldest son finds a talking fox and ignores it and stays in a cool inn instead of staying in the totally uncool inn. Let's see what happens. Time passed on, and as the eldest son did not come back, no tidings were heard of him. The second son set out, and the same thing happened to him. So time passed on, time continued, time went on. No tidings were heard of him. Tidings are like messages or words. So we heard nothing from him. No tidings were heard of him. The second son set out. He also went out on an adventure. He set out, and the same thing happened. He met the fox, who gave him the good advice. But when he came to the 2 inns, his eldest brother was standing at the window where the merrymaking was, and called to him to come in. So he shows up at the same inns. He sees his brother, and his brother's having a great time in the window where the merrymaking was. Merrymaking, having a good time, chilling, doing cool things. So where the merrymaking was, and called to him to come in. So the eldest brother, called to the second son, "Come in." And the second son, he could not withstand the temptation, but went in, and forgot the golden bird and his country in the same manner. So the second brother could not withstand, could not resist, could not say no to the temptation, to the thing that was telling him, "Come, do this," that he wanted to do. And so he forgot everything. Time passed on again, and the youngest son too wished to set out into the wide world to seek for the golden bird, to seek for the golden bird. But his father would not listen to it for a long time, for he was very fond of his son, and he was afraid that some ill luck might happen to him also, and prevent his coming back. So the father said, "No, you can't go out." He was very fond of his son. He really liked his son. He cared about his son. But he was afraid some ill luck might happen to him. Ill luck, bad luck. And prevent his coming back. Prevent his coming back might be heard today, prevent him from coming back. But both are good. However, at last it was agreed he should go, for he would not rest at home, and as he came to the wood, he met the fox, and heard the same good counsel. Good advice, good counsel. So he heard the same things that his brother heard. But he was thankful to the fox, and did not attempt his life as the brothers had done. As the brothers had done, Did not attempt his life, did not try to kill him, did not try to take his life. So the fox said, "Sit upon my tail, and you will travel faster. Sit upon my tail, sit on my tail, and you will travel faster." So he sat down, and the fox began to run. And away they went over stock and stone, so quick that their hair whistled in the wind. So the hair whistled. So the hair whistled in the wind. They were going really fast. When they came to the village, the son followed the fox's counsel. He listened to the fox's advice. and without looking about him went to the shabby inn and rested there all night at his ease. At his ease, as comfortably as he wanted, in the way he wanted. In the morning came the fox again, and met him as he was beginning his journey. He said, "Go straight forward, till you come to a castle, before which lie a whole troop of soldiers fast asleep and snoring." So go straight forward, just straight ahead, till you come to a castle, before which, in front of which, before which, lie a whole troop of soldiers. Troop like a group, a unit. A troop of soldiers fast asleep, meaning really asleep, not like half asleep, but really asleep. Fast asleep and snoring. Fast asleep and snoring. Take no notice of them, but go into the castle and pass on and on till you come to a room where the golden bird sits in a wooden cage. So take no notice of them. Don't pay attention to them. Don't look at them. Don't do anything. Just ignore them. And just keep going into the castle until you come to a room where the golden bird sits in a wooden cage. Close by it, close by it stands a beautiful golden cage. So close to the wooden cage stands a beautiful golden cage. But do not try to take the bird out of the shabby cage and put it into the handsome one. Otherwise, you will repent it. So a cage, a thing that holds usually a bird or an animal. There's two cages, a golden one and a shabby one, again, an ugly, poor-looking one. And the fox says, if you take the golden bird from the shabby one and you put it in the handsome one. Handsome, usually in American English that I grew up with, handsome is only beautiful, but for men. I've never heard it used really with objects, but I guess you can. So don't put it in the beautiful cage. Otherwise, you will repent it. In that case, you will regret. You will be sorry. Then the fox stretched out his tail again, and the young man sat himself down, and away they went over stock and stone till their hair whistled in the wind. So the fox is giving out more advice, and the young man listened last time, and it was pretty good. Let's see if he listens again. Before the castle gate, in front of the castle gate, before the castle gate, all was as the fox had said. So the son went in and found the chamber where the golden bird hung in a wooden cage. And below stood the golden cage, and the 3 golden apples that had been lost were lying close by it. So the fox, everything he said is coming true. The youngest man sees the ugly cage, sees the golden cage, sees the golden bird in the ugly cage, and sees apples on the ground, I'm guessing, because they're lying. Then thought he to himself. Then he thought to himself. Its words are reversed, changed, so it sounds poetic. Then thought he to himself, it will be a very droll thing to bring away such a fine bird in this shabby cage. A very droll thing. Droll, very British today. Usually, probably, I'm guessing it's usually funny, but it might have an extra sound to it, an extra meaning here. Like a very odd thing. Enough that he doesn't listen. Don't know why, but he doesn't listen. So he opened the door and he took hold of it. He took hold of the bird. He grabbed the bird. He took hold of it and he put it into the golden cage. So far so good. Everything's great when I listen to this fox, but this time the fox has no idea what he's talking about. Oh, okay. So he put the bird into the golden cage, but the bird set up such a loud scream that all the soldiers awoke. They woke up. And they took him prisoner and carried him before the king. So they took him prisoner. He became their prisoner, and they brought him in front of the king, before the king. The next morning, the court sat to judge him, to say if he's guilty or innocent or what should happen. They sat to judge him. And when all was heard, it sentenced him to die. It gave him the penalty, the sentence of death, unless he should bring the king the golden horse, which could run as swiftly as the wind. So unless he should bring the king, again, should, using it everywhere, should can mean anything. Here in modern English, modern American English, I might just hear unless he brings the king, unless he should bring the king the golden horse, which could run as swiftly as the wind, swiftly as fast. And if he did this, he was to have the golden bird given him for his own. So, interesting twist of the story. Basically, the court, the people who were in charge, where the golden bird was, hanging in the cage, they say, okay, you messed up, and we're going to kill you for it, unless you bring this incredible horse, this really fast horse. And then we not only won't kill you, we'll give you the thing you want. So good luck. So far, so good. And we'll stop there for now. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And come back so we can continue the story.